Hello everyone. So in this video, I want to talk about two things. Now the first thing is actually about certifications, and if you have been following my videos for some time, I'm sure you know my views on this. Now let me repeat, and I'll tell you why. Uh, I don't really think certificates are massively useful, and when it comes to certifications, when people reach out to me, they of course have different goals, and usually people reach out to me with a question like, Ravi, I want to get certified. Ravi, uh, could you please recommend me what certificates to do? Ravi, could you please recommend me, or could you please help me with this certification? What kind of questions can I expect? And I understand, because I understand all these questions because I am deeply involved in Atlassian tools. And when it comes to Atlassian tools, of course, there is a certification program. Now, let me tell you my views. Again, because I think from time to time you have to repeat yourself, which is fine. I don't really mind doing it, but every almost every day, if not every day, almost every week, I get at least 4 or 5 inquiries from people about certificates. It could be a message on LinkedIn, it could be a ticket on my uh, support portal. Like if you go to ravisagar.in/support, or if you go to my company website, sparksys.com, you will find a way to reach out to me. So people do reach out to me, and they always ask me about certificates. Now, I think if you are trying to get into Atlassian ecosystem, you should first figure out what you want to do, right? And by the way, I have made a video course, I believe, on how to start your Atlassian career. So, in fact, I have a free course. If you go to training.sparksys.com, and by the way, all the links are there in the description. Of course, I'm not really trying to promote myself, but I'm just trying to, share what I have. So, basically, this course is all about what route you can take when it comes to building a career. Now, when it comes to Atlassian, or something to do with Atlassian tools, you are either a user. So you could be a Jira user. And if you're a Jira user, to be honest, you don't really need to do much. All you need is some basic idea about ticket or issue tracking, right? And if you have been using some other tools, it is not too different, right? So uh, for developers, it is all about logging to Jira, going to their stories, looking at what has to be done, maybe looking at the branch, looking at some key information, and then work on your code, commit your code, maybe include your Jira key in the smart in the commit messages, and you're done. But if you are, and for those users, for majority of users, you just need to know the basics of Jira, right? And when it comes to basics, of course, you don't really need actually a course on this. You just need, some time, right? You just need to get your hands dirty, look at how issues are uh, issues are created, how you would work on the issues, how you would comment, how you would do basic search, how you can look at your dashboards, and that is it. To be honest, because that is not really your job to spend too much time in Jira. Your job is to do the work. Maybe you're a developer, maybe you are working in a legal department. So Jira is not really. I mean, for Jira users, you just need to know Jira, right? Like the usage. Now, if you're a project manager, or if you're a Scrum Master, or you're a product manager, then you need to, of course, know how Jira works. But you also need to understand and spend a bit more time in learning Jira software, maybe Kanban or Scrum, a bit something to do with like workflows. Of course, if you're a project admin on your own project, depending upon how your project is configured, you may be able to configure your workflow, limit, like not only each and everything, but limited changes. But if you're a project manager, or if you're in some kind of lead position, then the expectations are different. You need to do few more things, like how to create your reports, and you would be guiding other people to use Jira. So you should know little bit more Jira, not really an expert level. But if you are planning to become an admin, Jira admin, or if you're planning to get into Jira development, or if you're planning to become a Jira consultant, then you need to, of course, get into the technical side of it, right? Now, that should be your goal. Now, your goal should be to, I guess, get a job. Your goal should be to excel in your career. And Jira, if you are not really planning to become a developer or an admin or a consultant, then Jira should not be your like main primary skill set or competency. It should be like maybe a secondary skill set. If you're a project manager, then Jira is, of course, a good tool that you should know, because that is how things are these days. But Jira is not really, learning Jira will not really make you a project manager, right? So you should first figure out your end goal. If your end goal is to get a job, which I think you should be aiming for, or maybe if your end goal is to know Jira so that you can get a better job, because these days when you are applying for a project managerial position or some lead position, then people will expect you to have some knowledge of tools like Jira. Now the thing is, people think that, or I mean, again, I'm talking about my experience, because, and by the way, I think you can trust me because I'm qualified to talk about this topic. I don't really think certificates are useless, although, I mean, if you talk to me privately, I might say, but no, they're not useless. But I don't really think you should focus completely on getting a certificate, because getting a certificate is useless, because it won't really help you you might be able to, let us say, crack the interview, which is unlikely, to be honest, because if you're just focused on certificates, then you will just focus on learning enough things so that you pass the exam, right? But when it comes to Jira, irrespective of your experience level, you cannot really say that I know Jira or I am really good in Jira without real life experience. If you know how to create a workflow, that is not really a skill, right? If you know how to configure schemes, or how to add a field to a screen scheme, or how to set up security levels, I'm talking about core Jira admin skills. Doing those things is not equal to real life experience. If you have been doing like Jira consultation, or if you have been working in the industry for a long time, then of course these skills are necessary. And to be honest, just a piece of paper is not only going to tell me or your business users that you're going to solve their problems. Because if someone approaches you with a problem, let us say there is a dev team and they are trying to solve a problem so that they can work efficiently, they don't really care if you have a piece of paper that says that, okay, you passed this exam 5 years ago. It has no meaning, right? And of course, when it comes to certificates, when it comes to these, and by the way, I'm talking about not almost all the certificates in other ecosystems, but at least when it comes to Atlassian, these certificates I think are good to have as long as someone else is paying for it, because these certificates are not really cheap, right? Some of these certificates are expensive. So if you go to, by the way, Atlassian University, I think they recently made all of their courses free. So you can actually do some of these badges, or if some certificates are cheap, you can probably think about doing it. But I don't really think if you're paying for something, then it is worth, unless your company is paying for it. So if you're working for a partner, or if you're working for a big company where for partners, they need to maintain like a number of people that should always be certified so that they can maintain their status. So of course you will have no choice, but you will have to pass the exam. or if you're working for a very big company, like a big service provider, and they're paying for it. So I think there is no harm in getting a certificate, but don't really think about getting a certificate and then getting a job. I don't really think there is any relation. I mean, if you have a lot of money to waste, your own money, then maybe you can think about getting a certificate. But in the beginning, I think don't bother. And even if you have money, don't waste your money on some certificates that you think will help you. So unless you're working for a partner, unless you are working for a very big company, and unless you are 100% into Jira, like Jira admin or Jira consultant, then don't bother with these certificates. And if you think your company is forcing you to get certificates, so if they're paying for it, go for it. If they're not paying for it, then don't bother. And what else? So yeah, this is what I think you should aim for. You should aim for getting a better job. You should aim for earning more money. You should aim for your skills, your knowledge, so that if you have those skills, if you have those experiences of solving problems, like real life problems, use cases, then you will definitely get a job. I mean, if you're planning to join a company where Jira is your, let us say if you're applying for a Jira admin or Jira consultant role, then of course Jira, they will judge you on your Jira knowledge, but they will not really judge you on the basis of how to create a workflow or how to set a custom field context. They will judge you on the basis of what problems you solved using those skills, or I should say features of the tool. Because, and by the way, I'm also hiring, by the way. If you are a script runner resource, if you think and you have done a lot of work in script runner, reach out to me. I'm hiring for a script runner consultant position. I think I did post on LinkedIn. By the way, I'll probably post here. So basically, if you go to LinkedIn, if you search my name, if you are not really connected to me already, just send me a message. So I'm hiring for a script runner resource with 2 to 4 years of experience. It's not really a senior role, but I'm looking for someone who can write scripts in Groovy on Jira Data Center. So do reach out to me if you're looking for a job, and I don't really care if you have a certificate. If you have a certificate, great. If you don't really have a certificate, even better, right? So I don't mind, and that is how it should be. So if you are an organization and you're trying to hire someone, why do you care about certificates, right? That is what I would ask you. And if you are an organization and if you're looking for or maybe you need some help with your Jira instance, you can always reach out to us. By the way, I am certified, and I'll tell you, I am certified because I was certified long back, and all I do, I just do badge exams from time to time. And when you do those badge exams, you do get extension, which is great, and I appreciate it, because I don't really have to spend like hundreds of pounds or dollars to basically renew my certificates. So I think if you're spending like 20, 30 pounds, 35 pounds, I forgot, I think it's fine. And when I was a community leader, I think these community leaders, they get points or some vouchers, which is even better for them. I'm not a community leader anymore, unfortunately, for some reasons, but I do have certificates. That is what I wanted to disclose. So if you think I am not certified, no, I am certified, but I just have one certificate, like Jira admin, the most difficult one. I mean, it used to be the most difficult one. I'm not really sure about the current situation. So yeah, that is all. So I'm not really saying certificates are useless. Certificates are good if someone else is paying for it. All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.